What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 98 of the Get Gear podcast, where we talk everything New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, national and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, Grassani, joined Sarah by Mike Cunningham, Alex Reich, Marcellus, Murdock, Sam Morell, and our special guest, Robert Dobek. You can listen to the podcast right now on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts, and watch the soundcast right now on YouTube. Also, show up on social media at Yankee. With all that said, it's time to get your game on.
Adam, did you just say, did you just call me Smam?
I said Sam. Did it sound like a spam?
You literally said, "Oh, Alex Reach, Smam Morell," and I'm like,
Did it sound like that? Okay, if it sounded like that, I apologize.
I thought he said spam. I thought he said spam. I thought you listened to spam.
No, it's fine. I damn Grassani. It's fine. It's fine. I damn.
Oh shit! Sam throwing shade. I mean, spam is throwing.
All right, Sam. I apologize, but enough being rubbish. We got a special guest here. Just for a little context, I knew this guy over sports since 2013, 2014. We were on this really cool app called Sports Yapper. Unfortunately, that app went down. I was it 5 years ago, but we've remained in contact ever since on social media, on Twitter. I mean, he does a lot of great work. Talk about the Yankees and the Rangers. Robert Dobek. Robert, welcome to the show. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Well, I mean, ups and downs. He got the Rangers eliminated. But I mean, listen, told me a year ago we would have made it that far against the Tampa Bay Lightning, I would have said, yeah, right.
Yeah. And that's what, and obviously, Robert, that's what we're opening this show with. I wanted to get a Rangers guy on because a couple of nights ago, Rangers season it came to an end. When they lost 2-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 6. They were up 2-0 in the series, but then Tampa came back and won 4 straight. So I'm gonna have to give you the floor here, Robert. Break down the series for us.
Yeah, listen, I'm not bummed. I mean, at the end of the day, Tampa was the better team. And I mean, listen, I'm happy for Ryan McDonough because he was the captain of the Rangers for years, and I was really disappointed when they traded him. But listen, the Rangers, if you watched the game, you could tell that they were playing in slow motion. They were shot. They played too much hockey. They had too many young guys. They gave you everything they had, which, I mean, it still sucks that, because, I mean, you could make a valid argument that had they beaten the Lightning, they're probably beating Colorado for my book. But, I mean, hey, I mean, I still think the future looks bright. I mean, there are more important things in life. I mean,
definitely. But I definitely there's two angles you can look at this as a Rangers fan. On one hand, I've seen a lot of people disappointed because I've seen a lot of comparisons from this Rangers team to the 2017 Yankees, where they finally burst onto the scene out of nowhere, and then a lot of people were saying after 2017, oh look, a World Series is has to be in the next couple seasons, and 5 years on, where the Yankees are still waiting. So some fans might look at this the same way for the Rangers and say, oh, this is a missed opportunity. But then again, at the same time, Robert, if I told you back at the beginning of the season, hey, the Rangers are going to make it all the way to Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, you would have signed up for that in a heartbeat.
I wouldn't have believed you. I thought that maybe if things fell into place, they would be a playoff team. But I mean, listen, every year, especially in the NHL, there's always that team that gets hot at the right time out of nowhere. And I think this year that was the Rangers. The year before it was the Canadians. The year before it was the Islanders. The year before it was the Blue Jackets. I mean, But I mean, like, legitimately,
The St. Louis Blues, don't forget them.
yeah, they were in last place.
They were in last place at the
At the
end of the
deadline,
year,
I think.
and then they just got crazy hot.
Yeah, and then they beat the Bruins. I mean, like,
which that makes us New Yorkers happy. New Yorkers and Jerseyans happy.
I will say this about Boston. Like, I love Patrice Bergeron. For my money, he's the best two-way player that ever played. And B, I'm a Long Island kid, so like I usually root for the Long Island kids in the NHL, and Charlie McAvoy is one of them. So, but I mean, I'm not saying I don't own any Boston sports apparel, I swear, but like if they do well, I'm cool with it. But
okay, I respect that. I respect that. But the game. I mean, did anyone else I want to jump in? I mean, all right, then I'll continue. I really feel like one of their big issues, Robert, is if I had to point to one issue like that really I feel like it was an issue all season, and then for a couple of rounds that the Rangers managed to cover it up, but then I thought it got completely exposed in these 4 games. I think the big issue with the Rangers this series, and it's something that they addressed, 5-on-5. That was the area that really killed the Rangers. They could not score on. But the only way they could legitimately score was on a power play, and I'm sure the Rangers saw that. They say, "Hey, all I have to do is stay out of the play box, and we can win, and we can win some games." I really feel like 5 scoring a lack of is ultimately bit the Rangers in the butt this season.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. In fact, at the deadline, I think they addressed that at the deadline, and I think they got better. I think they were a better team 5-on-5 as the season got on, but I mean, if we were better than we're probably not having this conversation right now. We're probably waiting for a game 7. But a lot of young guys are on the team. That's what I would like to point out. I mean, you got Adam Fox, Ryan Lindgren, Philip Hedl, Cabo Caco, Alexi Lafreniere, Keandre Miller, Braden Schneider. All those guys are under the age of 24. And these were everyday guys in the lineup.
Yeah.
So I think that honestly, they got into 20 games of playoff experience at this age and playing high minutes. So
yeah,
I definitely think the future's solid for sure.
I did want to ask you about Capo Caco, because we all know the story. He was a healthy scratch in game 6, so he was essentially benched. And I think I was shocked because I don't know about this, Michael, Sam here. You guys know how much I rave about Jack Hughes and how good he is. Back in 2019, Dels had the first pick, Rangers had the second pick. Yep. There was legitimate conversation that Capo Caco could go first overall against over Jack Hughes. There was legitimate. There was legitimate debate. So to see him as a healthy scratch I thought that was very puzzling. Now, because am I going to call Capo Caco a bust? No, I'm not going to call him that. I still think he has some time to figure it out. But I want to ask you what did you make of that whole situation?
Here's my take on it. I personally think, listen, I don't know what went on. I don't I'm sure we'll have more information on that decision as the days go on. But I think that they were trying to. I think that Gallant needed to. It was do or die. I think he really needed to do something to shake things up I mean, I'm not saying I liked it. I understand. Right now, Jack Hughes has been better than Cabo Caco. I'm not arguing that. What I will say about Cabo Caco is he's had some injury issues. Like, I understand statistic wise, it doesn't throw your socks off, but his two-way game, like this guy is supposed to be a two-way guy, which means he also plays defense. So I don't think we've gotten like, you know, a full season of him in action yet, because his first year COVID ended it, and it was his rookie year. Then you got a shortened COVID season after, and then the next year, like, he got hurt. So realistically, I think that really going forward, like the long-term New York Rangers, we got to see more from Cabo Caco and Alexei Lafreniere, especially two guys that one went second overall and one that went first overall. Like these are the future. Yeah. Like, I mean, right now we're talking about the Panarins, the Kreiders, the Zibanejads, the Trubas, the Boxes, but these guys,
as those guys get older, you're expecting like Lafreniere and Caco to take the torch.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, but I mean, they're still really young, which I will say that. Like, now, I'm sure there were a lot of people who thought, "Oh my God, this guy's going to be as good as Gretzky right away, or as good as Crosby." But no, that doesn't work. Like,
look at Jack Hughes' like first year in the NHL. He struggled.
Yeah,
he struggled. Then he improved second year, and look at this. This year he was the breakout star of the league. Yeah,
like he's above a point a game this year. Like honestly, like Jack Hughes, like Jack Hughes he's a damn good player. Like, and I mean,
he was the only him and just about like the only saving graces for this past season.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, the Devils, they have pieces. Like, you guys got three centers that you could build around with.
And I'm probably gonna go around, but you mentioned about how young like this Rangers team is. The Devils right now, they're in a very similar place. They got a lot of young pieces: Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt, Igor Sharangovas,
Damon Severson.
Severson's like I believe a bit up there in age, but Dawson Mercer. You got Alexander Holt and Luke Hughes like on the way. So, and you got second overall pick this year. So
Severson is 27 and Dougie Hamilton's only 28 years old. Like honestly, like I think that the Devils, like, you need to get that goaltending position solidified. Like, I'm not saying you have to get the next Marty Brodeur, because like you can't expect everybody to be Marty Brodeur, but like you need to get a legitimate goaltender that's the starter.
I definitely think that you at the very least need to get another 1B to pair with Blackwood.
Yeah,
because here's the thing, like I gotta talk about Mackenzie Blackwood here for a bit. Like, obviously this year was just like a disaster for him, and it's easy to forget. You know how good Igor Shesterkin was this year?
Oh yeah, he
was unbelievable. And it's thing, us Devils fans, we were having like similar. I would say like obviously no one could expect this level of play from Igor, but we were having similar expectations as Blackwood. We were looking at this guy and say this guy could become one of the best like goaltenders in the league, and this year was just a disaster for him. Now, he was hurt. We gotta give him the benefit of that because he was hurt like the majority of the year. I do want to see him like get him one more full season just to really see what he's capable of. But I still think like you can't go into him like as like your only starting option. You can't go into next year with his only starting option. You need to bring in another goaltender.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Like, I mean, listen, I don't think that. I mean, listen, I don't like the Devils because, like, they're New Jersey, we're New York. Like, we don't like each other. But I mean,
it's the Hudson River rivalry. It's the Hudson River rivalry.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, in all honesty, with the Devils, like, you guys have pieces to, like, you guys got three centers that are legitimate, like 3 centers. Like that's
And we
not-
have that much depth as like arguably like one of the most important positions in the sport. That's a good thing. Center depth is so crucial. There's a reason why you rarely ever see centers hit star centers hit free agency, at least in their prime.
Oh, I agree. Which is why a Panarin signing is a huge deal. Because I mean, did the Rangers? I mean, like 11.5 to $12 million. That's insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, they signed him at the age of 27, and when this contract is over, he's going to be 34. So that's basically locking him up for guaranteeing the rest of his prime. Like that's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Alex, I'm gonna give you the floor. You want to talk to ask some questions to Robert? Just so you know, Robert, he's our resident Flyers fan.
Yeah, we talked about it.
What do you think about the upcoming draft, and who do you think that the Rangers are going to aim for?
Well, the Rangers don't have their first round pick.
You trade your first round pick, right?
Yeah, well, it was conditional. If we made the conference finals because of Andrew Kopp, we would not get our first round pick. But honestly, I'm fine. Like Andrew Kopp even told Chris Drury after they clinched against the Hurricanes, sorry about your first round pick. And he said, no worries. No worries.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, like it's obviously going to be it's obviously going to the offseason for the Rangers. What are some of the things you think like this team should do in offseason? Like what? Obviously we're not going to answer this, but what moves do you think they should make?
I was actually talking at work with my coworkers about it today. Like we're big Ranger fans. Like we talk like
hockey.
Yeah. But I don't think there's a free agent signing that we can necessarily make that would really pin the needle. I honestly think that the difference between I even said this before the year started, that I think the difference for us going forward is, yes, we have Artemi Panarin. Yes, we have Mika Zibanejad, Kreider, Trouba, and Fox. Yes, we have them. But the difference going forward for us to not just for next year, I'm talking about the years following. We need to see Lafreniere, Kakko, Hedl, guys like that take that next step.
That's gonna be huge. I definitely agree with you guys because I think those guys need to take that next step, because you gotta remember though, going to next year obviously it was a very successful, it was amazing for the Rangers, but you gotta remember, what are the chances that Chris Kreider's gonna put up 50 goals again?
Oh, never. I even told I love Kreider. I've always loved Kreider. I think they should make him the next captain. That's just me. But this was a career year. His highest goal total, I believe, was 28 before this year. And listen, I'm not complaining, because as long as it gets into the net, it's a goal. A lot of those goals are tip-ins. But I think Kreider, that there's always a player that just has that career year in sports. And I think this was just his career year. But honestly, even if Kreider goes back to 25 to 30 goals a year and hovers around 60 points a year, that's
You'll
fine.
sign up for that. You'll sign up for that.
Yeah, honestly, that's fine. And the thing about Kreider is he's very streaky. And at the end of the playoffs, he didn't score anything.
But that's the thing about goal scorers, is that goal scorers it's kind of like home run hitters in baseball. They're usually streaky.
Oh yeah, which is why I mean, like, I'm a contact hitter guy when it comes to baseball. That's just me. But I mean, like, you look at like Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, like their point totals are very similar, but Matthews is a goal scoring phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's insane how many goals he scores. But Mitch Marner, that's not really his thing. Like, he's just a playmaker. Like, he sets him up with all those assists. Like, I think Mitch Marner is going to last longer because, like, you know, his ability, he's probably, like, if we're talking about the best passers in the league, like, he's definitely in that conversation.
Definitely make a great point. Another thing too is like obviously Igor Shesterkin, he was obviously phenomenal this year. I mean you could have never seen in this coming from, because I said before, going from Henrik to Igor, it's like hockey's version of going from Favre to Rogers, going from Peyton to Andrew Luck. It's like that level of like a transit. It's like that level of transition. But here's the thing though. Like I said with Kreider, I definitely think Igor will definitely be very, very good next season. But what are the chances of him having like another 2.00 goals against average type of year?
So this is what I think of Igor and Henrik, the comparison. Igor had a terrific year. He's definitely winning the Vezina.
Yeah,
I don't know about the heart, but I think he's got a solid shot. But I think Matthews is going to take it. But here's what I'll say about Igor Shesterkin. When teams were going to MSG to play the Rangers this year, you weren't just worried about Igor Shesterkin. You were worried about Artemi Panarin, Mika Zibanejad, Chris Kreider, Adam Fox, all those guys. Now, when you were during the career years of Lundqvist, when you were going to MSG to play the Rangers, like, I'm not saying the Rangers had a shit team. Like, they had some nice players, but like, name a guy besides Henrik Lundqvist that you were the opposing team was heavily game planning against besides Lundqvist.
I can't really remember any.
Yeah, I mean, like, they had a bunch of
wasn't like Chris Kreider part of those teams too?
Yeah, but like Kreider was like a nice number 2 line guy, like Corey Crawford in the goaltender for the Blackhawks. Like, when you were playing him, you were worried about Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, Duncan Keith, and Marian Hossa. Like,
with Marc-Andre Fleury, you were worried about Sidney Crosby, Malkin,
and Letang. Yeah. Like, that's why. And I mean, like, listen, I admit, like, I am a big supporter of Henrik Lundqvist, but
as you should be.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, listen, they didn't win the cup because of him. I mean, they didn't lose the cup because of him. In fact, I think he is very much like the Dan Marino.
I was exactly going to say,
because
he's the Dan Marino of hockey.
Because Lundqvist took the Rangers places they didn't belong. Like, they didn't belong in the Stanley Cup against the Kings.
If you put like Lundqvist, like, no disrespect to Igor, if you gave Lundqvist in 2014, you gave Lundqvist the team Igor has in front of him, they win the cup.
Wait, pardon?
If back in Lundqvist's prime, if you give Henrik the team Igor has in front of him, they win the cup.
Agree. The first few games I saw of Artemi Panarin when he came, like, this after he signed, it was Lundqvist's last year. I said to myself, where was this guy all these years when Lundqvist was in his prime? Like, where was he? Like,
he was undrafted, right?
He went undrafted. I mean, still, like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like Lundqvist, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and like, and honestly, like whether even if he won the Stanley Cup, I wouldn't think anything more or less of him. But I mean, like, I honestly think Lundqvist is underrated, and I mean, like, I'm not saying he's the best. Like, you can't, like Marty Brodeur, like you can't take it away. Like he is number one. But
I mean, Ron Heisek up there too.
Yeah,
Ron Heisek up there too.
But Lundqvist didn't have the supporting cast that Marty Brodeur had.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. I mean, I don't know. I would go so far to say he's underrated because I really feel like he's properly rated on AHL. He's like what, one of the top 10 goaltenders of all time.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly,
he's in that mess. He's in that mix. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was coming back from Game 6 against the Hurricanes, I was taking the train ride home, and I got into like a heated debate with this drunken Ranger fan about Lundqvist is better than Richter. Like I kept telling him why, and he was like, I don't want to hear it. You didn't watch Richter play, and I said, I do know that Richter had a better supporting cast around him than Lundqvist did.
I mean, I'm not as familiar with Rangers history as you, so I'm not even gonna get into that debate.
Yeah, like I don't want to like make this a history thing, but like that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. I got two more questions here about
yeah, go ahead.
I really feel like this could be a 2-part question. Number one, what do you think about the future of Ryan Strome? Because I believe he's a free agent, right?
Yeah, he is going to be a free agent. I am a big Ryan Strome guy.
Really, I saw a lot of Rangers turn on him after that debacle.
Yeah, I think he is underrated. Like I remember when the Rangers traded for him, like with the Oil, like he was originally drafted 5th overall by the Islanders. He didn't really work out there. He moved to Edmonton, and he was playing so bad in Edmonton. Like I think he had 2 points in 18 games, and I think that had the trade not happened, the Oilers were going to send him to the minors. But the Rangers picked him up, and ever since then, he has been, a 60-point-a-year guy. Like everything has clicked with Strome ever since he got traded to the Rangers. And I understand people say, oh yeah, it's because he plays with Artemi Panarin. But last year when Panarin was gone for 12 games with some personal issues, he had 12 points.
Yeah.
So I don't think Ryan Strome is that guy. I don't think he's a superstar.
Yeah.
But honestly, I really like Ryan Strome. And I'm not just saying that because he's liked a few of my tweets, but
he's liked a few of your tweets. Cool.
Yeah, I'm friendly when you play well, and I'm sure. But I honestly, I don't think they're gonna re-sign him because future wise they gotta pay all these guys, but. I really like Ryan Strome, and I definitely think he's a $6 to $7 million a year player. And if the Rangers don't bring him back, I think that he is well deserving of a nice payday somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like two center is definitely I think a position that needs to be addressed. Whether you're bringing back Ryan Strome or not. I mean, I feel like if you don't bring back Strome though, like I don't think like this is gonna happen. But I really feel like either Bergeron or Malkin, they would be such great additions to this team.
You got me at Bergeron. Like honestly, like I know he's a Bruin, but he and Patrick Kane are my favorite players that don't wear the Rangers. Like I love Patrice Bergeron.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, you slide him into that 2 center behind Zibanejad. That would be so. No, I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but that would be the perfect sign for you.
Oh my God, no! I think Bergeron. he's the greatest two-way player in NHL history for my money, and I personally think he could still do it. Like he's still just like he's just solid, like rock solid. Like he just never makes mistakes, and like he's just. I mean, honestly, if he signed with the Rangers right now, I'd be the first one to buy his jersey. Honestly, like I love Patrice Bergeron,
and that's the one good thing about like his age. He's gonna be like 37, like in like July. So you mentioned before about not wanting a long-term contract. You could easily sign him to like what, a 2-3 year deal for like what, $6-7 million per year. It wouldn't cost that much.
Oh yeah, but I doubt that either he or Malkin are gonna.
Yeah, same thing with Malkin. I don't think it's gonna happen, but boy, I think that would be a Rangers fan's dream come true.
I would be if Bergeron was willing to play somewhere else. I would be the first person online to bid for his services. I'll tell you that right now, and but I doubt that's happening.
Yeah,
but I do hope he plays next year because I still think he's got something left in the tank.
All right, so yeah, I mean, last hockey question here, for Robert, what do you think? Obviously, like, what do you think about the Stanley Cup matchup? Break this down a little bit for us.
I got Tampa winning in 6. I
really.
I understand. I mean, I do think Colorado is going to benefit from this time off, which I was really mad that the Oilers got swept because, like, I mean, like, I knew they weren't going to win, but like, could you hold them off for like a couple of days for us, like, please?
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, Colorado, they got McKinnon. Like, he is just. I mean, he's not as good as McDavid, but he's pretty close.
He's one of the best centers in the league.
Oh yeah, he's pretty close to McDavid. Like, and so yeah, I mean, like, to me, you want to see these big time players win.
Yeah.
Like that. Like when you're big time, you want to win. You got to see them win. But I mean, honestly, like Tampa, like they didn't have their best player playing in this series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, you didn't have like, I forget who it was.
Braden Point.
Oh, Braden Point. Yeah,
Braden Point. Like some people think that he's the best player on the Lightning.
He's up there. I mean, obviously you got Stamkos, you got Kucherov. I mean, you got some studs, but.
Oh yeah, but like this guy's a legitimate two-way phenom. Like I think he's the closest thing to Patrice Bergeron that there is.
Yeah.
Like this guy is just good. Well, yeah, I think he's coming back, and I just think Tampa's just a well-run organization.
Yeah,
like I think
they are saving themselves to be like a legitimate like NHL dynasty.
Yeah.
Plus, they have the advantage of goal now. Josh Kemper for the goaltender for average is no slouch. Like he's no slouch, but that's less he's like clearly got an edge on him.
Oh yeah, but the thing about Tampa is where I think not just teams in the NHL, I think teams all over sports should take notes. Yeah. When you see their big guys go down for an injury for a few weeks, they find guys, whether it's like in somewhere in Canada or across the pond or their AHL team, they find guys that come up, fill in, and produce. Like just organizational depth, they're incredible at it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm upset we lost, but like they were more deserving of being in the Stanley Cup than the Rangers. Like they won.
And that's the thing. Like when the Rangers lost Game 5, I feel like the sense was completely different because I feel like Rangers fans do like, yes, you came back against Carolina, you came against Pittsburgh. The Tampa Bay Lightning are just a different animal. They have that championship DNA.
Yeah, they are.
I personally can't really pick if I had to pick, I would say the Avalanche in like 7. But why necessarily be surprised if the Rangers won? No, I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah. I mean, I respect the Lightning. I mean, because they beat the Islanders the last 2 years. And I hate the Islanders. So
they whooped our butts back in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems like the Tampa Bay Lightning have got all our teams, all the New York teams' numbers.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for Ryan McDonough, I hope they do well. I mean, all right.
How about Patrick Maroon? How about Pat Maroon?
Oh yeah.
It's his 4th straight appearance in a Stanley Cup.
4.
He could have done that when he was with the Devils, man.
Oh yeah, he was a Devil. I did not know
he was a Devil, and then as soon as he leaves, he goes and wins 4 straight cups. That's just
the Devils
my life.
were rebuilding, so
yeah. But yeah, did you guys? I mean, Alex, Sam, Marcellus, Michael, do you have any final hockey questions for Robert?
I mean, we got to get Michael and Sam and Marcellus back in it, so maybe we should stop talking hockey.
Yeah, they're all. They just don't see when we start hockey. They just all.
What?
I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, my parents think I'm crazy for loving hockey because nobody in my household knows anything about hockey. Honestly,
I felt, man. Damn, I was asleep for 20 minutes. I completely missed the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, but we're moving.
If you say hockey, I'm falling asleep.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
All right, what are we doing? Football or?
All right, here's the thing. We're gonna do Alex here. Like he does a little college baseball segment for the College World Series. So Alex, just get that quickly. Then we're gonna do a little segment, a little teaser, the hot take of the episode. But Alex, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll say this: the number 1 ranked team in the country, Tennessee Vols, got eliminated.
They got eliminated?
Yep, they did not make it to the College World Series. They lost, and they lost to let me see, to the Notre Dame Irish. They lost to Notre Dame. But Notre Dame seems to be creeping up in the College World Series tournament, and I'm really excited to see how that team progresses throughout the final stretch of things. And as of now, Ole Miss is advancing to the World Series. Stanford and UConn have to play another game tomorrow to decide who will win to move on to the World Series. Oklahoma punched a ticket. Arkansas punched a ticket. And there's 2 games going on right now as we speak. It's Texas and East Carolina. Texas is up 9-1 in the 4th. And Auburn is losing to Oregon State 4-2 in the top of the 6th. So I think whoever wins those 2 matchups moves on to the World Series. And the World Series gets underway this upcoming Friday afternoon. So that will be a fun time to watch. And it's definitely a good time to watch, even if it's not your team, because you don't know what's going to happen and what kind of upsets will happen, especially seeing Notre Dame get the win over Tennessee in the tournament. And I think that people are going to realize that this this tournament this year has been spectacular, even though that some people thought that Tennessee would be a much more competitive kind of team. But I think that looking ahead, I think Notre Dame is going to have a big potential in this World Series since they knocked off Tennessee, and it's going to be a very intriguing World Series to come.
Yeah, but it's who gets who in the World Series again?
What?
It's Notre Dame against who?
We don't know the matchups as of now because there's 3 games that I need to finish.
Oh, okay.
So after those 3 games, then we will probably know by as late as Wednesday or something.
Okay. So update us on next episode, right?
Yeah.
All right, but thank you, Alex, for your college baseball segment. Great job. But guys, you know what time it is, right? Explain, Robert, what time it is. It's time for the hot take episode. So, Robert, this is how this works. I have this little spinning wheel app, and and obviously I'm gonna spin it, and as already said, whoever names it lands on gets to do a hot take. You can do a hot take on whatever you want, and then once they're done, they make all their arguments. We all vote on the hot take, and if we vote in favor of it, if enough of us vote in favor of it, it gets approved and it gets to a score. If enough of us vote against it and they deny it, it gets disapproved.
Any politics or no?
No politics.
Fair enough.
No politics. It's strictly sports.
All right. Okay.
All right. So if you want, guys, should we let Robert have a vote?
Hey, it's your show.
What's the hot take?
No. Did you guys want Robert to have a vote?
Sure. Sure.
How does we'll have him be like a tiebreaker in case it goes to a tie.
No, he can have a vote. He could have a vote. Let him have a real vote.
Yeah, I say because one of us is gonna be going Just so you know, this segment of ours gets pretty heated. Like we've had some crazy hot takes here. In fact, you guys want to tell them like my crazy one from last episode?
I still just want to forget it. It was that bad.
All right, let me tell some crazy ones. Michael here once time said, what did he say? What did Michael say? He said like Kareem's not top 5 all time. Sam here one time said, he said that he said he would take Dwayne Wade over Kevin Durant, and Marcellus here said that Chris Paul isn't a Hall of Famer. So this segment gets heated.
Adam,
Chris Paul isn't a Hall of Famer.
I said he's not. Wait, no, I think I said he is. No, I said he's not. No, I said he's not. Yeah.
And Adam said LeBron's not a top 2 player of all time.
All right, if Vince Carter is a Hall of Famer, how is Chris Paul not a Hall of Famer?
And last episode, I did one saying like I would take Kareem over LeBron.
No rings, man. He got no rings to show for it.
I just hate you, Adam. I really want to smack the dog shit out of you.
All right, so I went already. Michael went already. So this round, so that means this upcoming round is good between Marcellus, Alex, and Sam. So, guys, time for the age-old question. You ready for me to spin the wheel?
Spin.
Wheel is spinning, starting now. The hot take of the episode will be done by Samuel Morell.
I'm too tired for this shit.
Come on, show your face.
See what I mean?
He has no light in his room.
I say there's nothing. You see a dark figure staring at you very anonymously. So let's not scare the viewers.
All right, Sam, you're up.
Draymond Green is very overrated in my opinion.
Draymond Green?
Don't get me wrong.
You're saying Draymond Green's overrated?
That's not my hot take.
What's
You're
your
gonna
hot
see
take?
I'm getting to it.
I approve. I 100% approve.
Okay, I'm getting to it. So
God bless you, brother Sam.
Draymond Green has said he is a top 20 defender of all time. He's a top 5 defender of all time.
Top 20, yes. Top 5, no.
He said he's the best defender of all time in any decade.
I would dare to make this argument, and this is
no, he's not.
This is an argument.
I mean,
let him go, Rob. Robert, let him go.
Draymond Green is not a top 30 defender of all time.
Not a top 30 defender of all time. I'm not sure if I could give you that.
He said he's not.
Adam, there are 20 people that have more defensive players of the years than Draymond Green. And there's another 10 people that I can definitely name that are better defensively than Draymond Green. Because Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless even got to 30 players. Because here's the thing with Draymond Green. He's very flexible. But when do you ever put Draymond Green on their best player? In 2015, you put Andre Iguodala on LeBron. In 2019, Draymond Green was just non-factor. And even in these finals, you're putting Andrew Wiggins on Jason Tatum. So where does Draymond Green keep falling into this category of, oh, he's one of the best defenders? When I'm like, bro, you're not guarding your best player. And I get like, okay, he's a smaller center, but Kevon Looney is doing what Draymond's doing just without the offense. Grant Williams on the Celtics had to do what people said Draymond Green had to do when Grant Williams had to guard Kevin Durant. Let me repeat that, guys. Draymond Green's probably never guarded Kevin Durant one-on-one every possession. The Celtics had to Grant Williams, who was a bench player. I want you to guard Kevin Durant every possession. And Adam, you're our Nets fan here. What did Grant Williams do to Kevin Durant?
He locked him down.
So if Grant Williams can do that, why couldn't Draymond Green do that? It's just, if you're that guy, if you're that defender, you're going to defend their best player. Just like Tony Allen did with Kobe and Wade and Paul and all of them. And Tony Allen, I'm pretty sure, didn't even win the Defensive Player of the Year.
Who?
Tony Allen. Tony Allen had no offense.
Tony Allen should have been a defensive player. He should have been one.
Yeah, because Tony Allen was known for his defense. So I'm just gonna end my hot take there. But y'all know now, like Draymond Green, I like the confidence, but that motherfucker be overhyping himself. OD, he'd be overhyping himself.
All right. Let me ask you this before you end your hot take, Sam. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Draymond Green is a fill in the blank defensive player.
He is a flexible defensive player. He's not your best defensive player, but he's that defensive player that like you can be flexible with in terms of you can put him at your center or you can put him as your help. but you can never put Draymond as the primary defender. And that's what I'm getting at. The best defensive players are usually the primary defenders. Like, even like, for example, like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman used to guard those type of power forwards like Karl Malone and all of them. I don't see Draymond doing that with Joel Embiid. I don't see Draymond did one person these playoffs. And that was Nikola Jokic. And I think we can all agree that Draymond Green, that anyone in this league could probably keep up with Nikola Jokic. He was the MVP, no doubt. But like, let's not act like the brother is jumping out the gym. Like, he can't walk on the curb. So like, Draymond Green can easily stand firm of Nikola Jokic. So that's like an easy guard for Draymond, just in terms of just athleticism.
All right, is that the end of your hot take, Sam?
Yeah, that's the end of my hot take.
Okay, so we're moving on to a Brutus move. I'll go first here. Here's what I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
When you say Draymond's not a top 30 defender of all time, I was thinking, I'll have to think. Because here's the thing. I legitimately believe like Draymond Green is one of the best defensive players like in the game day. One defensive player of the year, like for a reason. Like I agree with Sam, he's very flexible, and like your criticism about, but I still think like the Warriors won. He's a big part of like that Warriors assets for a reason. He is like that type of flexible like glue guys. That's basically what I think. But you know what, Sam? You did bring up a lot of extra points about him not really guarding like the other teams like best defender, and you really perfectly described the type of player. Like you brought up a really bad point. So you know what, Sam? Because that I'm going to approve.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually surprised. Usually, like the past like 3 hot takes for me disagreed.
I'm not sure if I agree, but you made enough valid points to the point where I approved it.
Okay.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go last.
All right, you go last. Rob, you want to go?
I think he's. I mean, listen. He's crossed the line at times, but
I think he's crossed the line.
At the end of the day, I mean, listen. The Warriors, they don't win those 3 championships without Draymond Green.
Oh, okay. The first one, 2015. I kind of give you that one, even though Andre Iguodala was the one that won Finals MVP because he stopped LeBron from averaging 40 points. He just let LeBron average 36, 15, and 9. just that terrible numbers for LeBron. Just absolutely terrible numbers for LeBron. I would argue 2017 and 2018. You don't need Draymond during those 2 finals runs. In contrary, you just needed both Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Those are the 2 that you really needed. Because Steph provides the space, and then KD, as much as I've said KD is an overrated superstar, I can admit, like, one-on-one, because that's what happened when KD was on Golden State. KD got a lot on one-on-one scenarios because he was never double-teamed. One-on-one, Kevin Durant will score every single time on you. But go ahead, continue.
I mean, listen, Draymond Green's homegrown. Like you're telling me that, like, I mean, like, so are you a Warriors fan or not? You're obviously not, right?
I support the Warriors, but I wouldn't say I'm a Warriors fan. I like to call myself more of like a Steph Curry fan, not a Warriors fan, because
I'm the same.
It's like there's some players that like I like on the Warriors, and there's some players that I hate on the Warriors.
Let's wrap it up. We got to vote.
Yeah, I don't think Draymond Green is the best defender of all time. I don't think he's in the top 10 either. But when it's all said and done, I could see him in the top 20.
So you're voting yes or no?
Is he overrated or?
Yeah.
It's either overrated or underrated or
properly rated.
I'm going to go properly rated.
Okay.
Damn, okay, so disagree. So one agree, one disagree.
So you're voting no. You're voting no, right?
Yeah, for my hot take.
No.
Okay. All right, Alex, you want to go next?
Alex, remember what Draymond Green did to the Philadelphia 76ers? You should be praising my ass right now. fucking almost injured Joel Embiid to the next century. Him kicking his balls like that. Wait. Why did you kick me out? I said Draymond Green's overrated. I was helping your case.
Because you brought up Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid's a top 5 player, and Draymond Green tried to end his career.
You an idiot, bro. You an idiot.
Still, if you bring up an Embiid and insult him, I'm kicking you out.
I didn't insult him. I literally said Draymond Green's defense is overrated.
Embiid's a bitch ass nigga.
I literally said Joel Embiid almost got hurt because of Draymond Green's so-called defense.
He's already Embiid's not so bad. It's like Meet Me so bad. It's like Making the Band Part 3. And he did it. Marcellus, you go next.
No, Alex didn't even get his vote in. Alex didn't even get his vote in.
Mike let Alex get his vote in. He didn't even get to vote.
Alex, you're fired. Next person, go.
So
let Alex go.
Wait. I didn't even get
my
go.
Yeah, go.
You don't get no vote because you're on Joel Embiid's nuts so bad. You've been sucking it too much.
Mike. Okay.
Alex, get your vote in.
Okay, wait. Okay.
You approve?
So 2 approves, one disapprove. All right.
So it's 2-1. You need one more vote.
Who disapproved this hot take?
Robert disapproved.
He said he was a properly rated defender. I'm not going to argue
Marcellus, you up, baby.
Remember, this is Draymond Green is an overrated defender. I don't see him as even a top 30 defender. Remember that, you two.
I approve.
Okay, good. So
Michael, you're it doesn't really matter anyway, but go ahead.
Who knows who of all the basketball players in the world, who do I have the most hate for, Sam?
The Nutcracker.
For real, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's Draymond Green's nickname, the Nutcracker.
Everyone knows I have too much hatred for Draymond Green. My family hates Draymond. So any Draymond Green slander around me, you know you got my vote. Shit, I hate that motherfucker.
Adam, that did you know that they Draymond Green's nickname is the Nutcracker because he cracked Steven Adams' nuts so hard that he came for children.
Okay, that was a good one.
Yo, hey, Sam. Wait, what do you call Draymond Green's nuts?
Non-existent.
Non-existent. Yo, why is Draymond on KD's ass so much? He was like, "Yo, man, we can win without you. Yo, man, can I play with you because I love my mouth on your ass because I kiss it so damn much." Adam, when Draymond went to the Nets, bro?
If Draymond went to the Nets,
Yeah.
I feel like
I would take him.
No,
You want
here's the
team
thing
will
that Adam would do. No, at first Adam would be like, "Oh my god, we got another All-Star. We're gonna go to the playoffs. We're gonna make the finals."
I would say that. I would take him. I would be excited.
No, you would be excited, and then as soon as
He'd be
Draymond
back
starts
with
choking,
KD though. He'd be back with KD.
oh my god, Adam, you would have the trifecta of dysfunctional motherfuckers. Kevin Durant.
You guys got Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, and KD.
So Ben Simmons. That would be the definition of the Brooklyn Zoo.
If you
remember like the Bronx Zoo days, it would be the Brooklyn Zoo.
If you add Draymond Green to that
team, do you think the Nets are gonna win with them?
With Kevin Durant, all I'm gonna say is fingers are crossed. That's all I'm gonna say is fingers are crossed.
Adam, over. You guys need to rebuild. It's over.
Adam, I'm not gonna lie. If you added Draymond Green to the Brooklyn Nets, you might have the least chemistry out of every single team. Like your team would literally be so dysfunctional. You guys would lose, not because you don't have star power, but because everyone's yelling at each other every goddamn minute. Like,
Sam, I'd love to see what you look like, Sam.
Sam, I think Rob got a little crush on you, brother.
Wait.
Sam, you got a little man crush on Rob or something, brother?
There.
He's an ugly motherfucker, Sam. Ugly. You don't want him to break the screen.
Mike, I know
my screen's already broken.
Mike, I know you're fat Albert.
Robert, I sent you. Robert,
I know you're down. I know you're Tourette syndrome looking
the link
like
to
with
Michael and
your eyes
Sam's
back and forth, looking like a fat hobbit looking ass motherfucker.
When you get a chance, you can go watch it.
All right, Robert. Doesn't Sam look like Jabba the Hutt looking ass motherfucker?
Wait, I see you guys.
Mike, I'm literally skinny. Mike, you look like Fat Albert if his hair long. You look like Fat Albert.
This nigga is Jabba the Hutt. Yo, Adam. At least I'm tall, baby. This nigga's a hobbit for God's sake, bro.
Oh my
this shit. He's like the munches. Follow the yellow brick road. To the Wizard of Oz we go. That Sam looking ass motherfucker. Looking like Dumpy had a stepchild. Stop playing with me.
Mike, you're shorter than me.
Nigga, I'm 6'2", bitch.
I'm 6'1".
I love that you guys aren't showing your faces and you guys are arguing back and forth.
We do this every week. It's all love here. Rob, why you look like you got beat up by a Ranger fan, bro? Stop playing with me, Rob.
What?
You look like you got beat up with the face.
You just took a shot at our guest.
Yo, Adam.
Yo, Michael, just for that.
It's a birthmark.
It's a birthmark, and you don't take shots at guests like that. That's rude. Don't take shots at our guests.
No, Robert, I'm not even gonna lie. I was actually like wondering, like I saw that below your eye, and I didn't want to be rude or anything, but I was like, oh fuck, did they like get into a fight or something, or did like someone like beat him up? I was concerned.
No, it's a birthmark. I sometimes joke around that but when I had a drunken uncle when I was a little kid. He came home drunk once and threw a beer bottle at my face, and
he had to appreciate you. Hey, Rob.
Oh, don't worry, Robert. I have a birthmark like on my neck, so don't worry.
Well, all seriousness, Adam, why the hell you look like a gay band camp geek? Stop playing with me.
We're supposed to be voting on Sam's hot take, and Michael.
We already voted already. I approved.
Adam. I have it's 4-1, and then Mike just started trying to roast me. I just tried to roast him, and now we've reached this point.
Robert, you see how easily this gets out of control.
Yeah, I mean,
me and Sam are going to hell. We and Sam and Marcellus.
What are we talking about now?
All right, so now we're moving on. You want to talk some baseball finally?
Let's go Yankees!
All right, at least you're a Yankee fan.
I'm a Yankee fan. As you know, Mike's a Yankee fan. Sam's a Yankee fan.
Adam, can we please not talk about the Yankees because that embarrassing fucking loss against the Cubs is still fresh in my mind.
No, they won.
No, they lost one game against the Cubs, like embarrassingly.
They won every game against the Cubs.
Really? I saw a tweet that said something about like maybe they came back one game, but I saw
now with the Rangers out of the playoffs, now I'm stuck with the Yankees.
Yeah, same. Man,
I've
been all on the Yankees since like what, April? Whenever the Nets got eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the end of April. It was the end of April, so I've been all in on them. But yeah, they sweep the Cubs. I mean,
so there's a motherfucker that lied to me on Twitter about it.
There's someone lied. I think it was was it the first game where they won in extra innings? Yeah, because the Cubs I think the Cubs like tied it at that point, and then went to extra innings, and then went to extra innings, and they walked off Jose Trevino, who by the way has been an absolute beast.
Love him. Gary who?
Honestly, you know who's been a surprise though? I think like his name's like Matt Carpenter.
Matt Carpenter was a.
No, honestly, I wish we had him back in 2013. I think the reason he went, it didn't end well with the Cardinals is because I think he became too home run happy with the Cardinals. Like I think that.
Listen,
I think 2013 he finished top 3 in the MVP voting.
Listen. He is. I saw him like first game during the Angels live, and I was like, "Oh, who's this Matt Carpenter guy?" I'm like, "Well, he's maybe somewhat good." He hits a home run. I'm like, "Oh, so you're that guy? Okay, I like you now."
I like the stash though.
Oh yeah, the stash is what makes it for me.
I love how he doesn't wear batting gloves. Like when I played baseball, I didn't wear batting gloves.
I know, Sam. When I played baseball, it was like I didn't wear anything. I only brought my bat, my helmet, my glove. That's it, and my catcher's equipment if I needed it. Yeah, what's it called? The Yankees are actually doing really well right now. However, I'm waiting until August because I've been told at this. This is just my thing with every New York team I fucking root for. They start out amazing, but my phrase is this: what can go wrong will go wrong. That is with every New York team I've ever rooted for. The Knicks, the Rangers, the Yankees, every single one of them. Like they'll have an amazing season, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna win the chip. Oh, they're gonna win this. Oh, they're gonna do this, and they end up losing. And I'm like, that's shame on fucking me because I should have saw that coming. So, Alex, you speaking, then I want to get Robert's intake on how confident do you feel the Yankees so far?
All right, Alex, you go, then Robert, you go.
I love the
Alex saved the Phillies. Just if we were talking about the Phillies, don't worry, we're saving the Phillies talk for later.
Ugh, Philly. At least it's better than Boston.
Got one thing for Robert. Let's go, Tampa.
Let me explain. I'm telling you, this guy right here spends more time rooting against the Yankees than he does for his own team. I'll tell you right now. The funny story. Oh, sorry. I was on the way home from like summer vacation. What was it? It was.
Wow, you're a dick.
Anyway, this past year I was on summer vacation and I was on the ferry ride home. Man. It was just remember the Yankees winning streak from last year and they won like what 13 straight. is the game they lost. And then this fool right here records a video of himself bragging about the Yankees losing. He records a video bragging about like going on. The Yankees lost. Yeah, I told you they were gonna lose. He got that worked up over like the Yankees losing. That's so much hatred he had. And this thing, I was like, I was wearing a new hat that I brought there. I was gonna go outside the ferry to make a big response. The wind blows my hat straight off. It almost blows into the ocean. Thank God I was able to save it. Yeah. So that's I know how much this man's like. I don't know. What did the Yankees ever do to you, Alex?
Well, I mean, we beat them in 2009.
Is that it?
No, I just hate. I just hate New York sports for life.
Alex, you didn't even ever give it a chance to hate New York. Have kindness in your heart. Don't have hatred.
Well, you know what? Well, no, actually, here's our response to you. We all here hate Philly sports for life.
No, I don't mind Philly sports, but Boston can go fuck themselves.
That's the one thing both Philly and New York fans can agree on. We all hate Boston.
No, but Adam, you know why? Here's my thing. Adam, it's like the same thing. You know, like how we're in New Jersey. You know how we react when we see like a New York driver in New Jersey. We're like, oh, fucking God. New York drivers are the worst. Fuck. And like New York drivers, when they see New Jersey drivers or Pennsylvania drivers, they're like, oh my fucking God. Like it's like the same thing like that. It's like any type of Philly association, like sports, they just hate New York. And then the Philly fans look in New Jersey and they're like, you don't have any team. Even though we have the Devils, but you know, Adam, like the Devils,
you could have the Jets and the Giants. I mean, they're not doing anything.
Oh my God! Don't even mention the Giants' names. We didn't.
I mean, they're starting to turn things around now. Now that Gelman.
I know you hated Dave Gettleman.
Oh, I've read about Dave Gelman for years, and Robert here was one of like 10 people I know that actually defended Dave Gelman.
I had the shirt to prove it. I mean, in all fairness, the shirt, the proceeds went to cancer treatment.
Okay, it went to cancer treatment. All right, you get a pass.
But I mean, I mean, listen, I liked a lot of his moves, but I mean, at the end of the day, they didn't win enough games.
Exactly. You finished like you don't finish with more than 10 losses 4 straight years. You're gone.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? I think they made the right move trading away Odell, though.
I mean, it's a big. But I said before, like I didn't necessarily mind trading him away. It was just that why'd you sign him to that big time contract and then trade him? You could have got if you had traded him like back in 2018, you would have gotten 2 first-round picks. Instead, you had to sell for like that underwhelming Cleveland return. That was always in my.
But you know what? I'll go as far as to say they made a mistake drafting him. You know why?
Oh, because right behind him, you know who got drafted?
Aaron Donald. I mean, Carson, Taylor, Strahan, Donald. Like, could you imagine Aaron Donald in a Giants uniform?
Best defensive player in the best player in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he just signed with the Rams.
Yeah, I mean he's the closest thing to Lawrence Taylor there is.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Can we get back to baseball talk? Oh my God, we just straight off the football like out of nowhere. Oh my God.
I know with my own fucking ears, you motherfucker did not just cut me off. And I was about to say something about Odell Beckham Jr.
You know what? F the script. Go ahead.
Nah, we good. Let's just go back.
All right, okay. Just so you know, we don't follow the script here. We don't follow the script here.
I can tell.
Okay. But
Adam, what's the point of having a script for episode? We never do it.
Robert, I'm letting you know. We had a actual like 1 hour 15 minute script. And we ended up talking about Kevin Durant for 40 minutes, even though it wasn't even on the script. That's how much I triggered Adam one episode.
He's Kevin Durant. You can talk about it.
All right. But, I mean, the Yankees, I mean, I want to ask you, I'll ask you, so yeah, hand raise. I mean, coming to the year, I mean, I was looking at this team saying, like, they might make the playoffs and probably be a wild card team. They'll probably like be another early round exit. Like that was my opinion. Look, the team. They've been like they've exceeded all our expectations. Who really saw like who really thought they would be like the best team in baseball like by a wide margin. They're first place in the division by a long shot. They've got the best. They got the best record of it. They've just won, like, what was it? They swept the Angels. They took 2 out of 3 from the Twins. They just swept the Cubs. This team is just, I mean, there's really, like, I want to ask you this, what was your impression of this team coming into the season? And now we're, like, a couple months in. What's your impression of them now?
Last year was my worst season as a Yankee fan. They were unwatchable with me. And honestly, like, I mean, it was interesting because of the lockout. Like, they didn't do anything before the lockout. So, like, during the lockout, I was telling myself, like, you know what? I really don't care because, like, this team, the way it's structured, I think that they're a classic wild card team that doesn't go anywhere. But after the lockout is over, they finally made moves. And honestly, last year, the catching position was unacceptable. The shortstop position was unacceptable. And the center field position was unacceptable. So they traded away Gary Sanchez, who, I'm sorry, if you're going to be a 208 hitter, you got to be a great defensive catcher. He was none of the above. Now, I don't think it was his fault because he looked great under Joe Girardi, but because Girardi held him accountable because he knew that Sanchez was a lazy player and he held him accountable. But now you got Aaron Boone, who's an ass kisser, and is just like, oh, Gary, everything will be okay. Oh, Gary, don't worry. Tomorrow's another day. Gary hits 208, and his defense gets worse and worse. So the Yankees finally saw the writing on the wall, and they decided, you know what? We're going to clean up our defense, which was horrific last year. They traded away Sanchez and Urshela.
Urshela, yeah.
Yeah, to the Minnesota Twins for Isaiah Kyler.
IKF and you got Donaldson. That's major infield.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Josh Donaldson, I loved him in Toronto. Now, I don't think Josh Donaldson is ever going to be that MVP that he was, but honestly, Donaldson, the defense was very similar to Urshela, and if he's healthy, definitely an upgrade. And
guys, let me explain something real quick. You guys know my hatred for Joey Gallo. He is the worst Yankee on the
roster. The worst.
Here's the thing though, Robert. I would take this moment to slander Joey Gallo, but I gotta say, you see that game against the Twins?
I don't care. Joey Gallo is the most overrated player in the league. All right. Most of his solo home runs, by the way, come against crappy pitching and crappy teams. All right. This guy, he sucks. I don't care what era we're in. I don't care if people think batting average is a waste of time. a 208 batting average with an on-base percentage under 300 sucks. It sucks.
We just lost Marcellus. Jesus Christ.
Oh, is he a Joey Gallo fan?
No, he's a Mets fan. He's probably neutral. He's probably neutral. He probably fell asleep. He always falls asleep at this hour.
Yeah, but honestly with the Yankees, I mean, I want to see, because like there's still a big chunk of the season left. I'd have to see them continue it, but starting pitching looks good.
Oh my God, the pitching is. You could make the argument that the pitching is the reason why they're hurt. You could make the argument that it's a bigger strength than their offense.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I know I was critical of Garrett Cole last outing. I tweeted something, I retweeted something that says Garrett Cole gets paid over $1 million per start. What a felon! I mean, honestly, like I'll admit, I get cranky. Like you know, I'm a blue collar. I'm passionate about about stuff, including sports. But I want to see them win. And I mean, I think I could say this as Yankee fans. We've won one World Series in 20 plus years.
Yeah.
It is long overdue. Long overdue. If you want me to spend $300 on jerseys and baseball tickets, you gotta win.
That is true. But I definitely think like with the way this turning out, the way the season's turning out, like this almost has to be the year. It almost has to be. You have the best record in baseball. The start pitch is unbelievable. Aaron Judge, oh my God! Like remember early in the season when we were saying, oh my God, Aaron Judge, what are you thinking turning down that contract? He's gonna smash that in free agency.
Oh yeah, I mean honestly, I think the thing is with the Yankees, I think there are a lot of down teams this year, which helps them, but. Judge, I think he made the right call, and I think he's got more leverage than people think he does.
I definitely
because the Red Sox fans, they were pissed when they traded away Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine what it would be like if the Yankees, who Yankee fans already aren't that thrilled about Cashman and the Steinbrenners.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if, like, let's just say, like, the Yankees refuse to up the ante with the Judge offer, and Judge wins the MVP this year, and he goes to San Francisco for, I don't know, 8 years, 280.
First of all, we better keep that motherfucker happy.
Yeah, and like, do you honestly think what the backlash would be if?
That's the one thing why I think Aaron Judge is going to be Yankees, because the PR, it would be a PR nightmare if they let him walk.
Yeah,
and I mean, the only way I think they'll let him walk is if some team makes, like, I don't know, a $400 million offer or like something crazy like that. That's the only way I think a team they'll let him walk.
But we have the money to afford it. We are the richest team in baseball.
So you remember when the Yankees let Cano go to the Mariners?
Yeah.
The Yankees were at 175 over 7. He signed for 240 over 7.
That's apples and oranges because that's apples and oranges because Cano wasn't like the franchise player like Judge is. And plus that team was clearly like on the verge of rebuilding. That team was clearly on the verge of rebuilding. The Yankees right now are like literally World Series contenders. They are legitimate World Series contenders. If you lose Judge, if let's say you don't win the World Series this year and you lose Judge, that would be like that would be like a nightmare because you're losing your best player in the middle of a championship run.
Oh yeah, but I mean, listen, I usually take the side of players when it comes to contract negotiations, like because like I think it's very hypocritical for us as fans to say, hey, because I like you and you play for my team, you have to take less money to play for my team because
that mentality makes no sense. That mentality makes no sense.
But here's the thing, boys. In sports, there's only one or two things we want as fans and as players. For each sport, for basketball, it's to hold that Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of the year to see your team do it. For baseball, to see what's the baseball trophy called?
Commissioner's Trophy.
We want to see that Commissioner's Trophy all the way in October. Football, we want to see the Lombardi Trophy. Like, for us, we want to hold that Stanley Cup trophy. We want that trophy. And we want money. It's either trophy or the money. As fans, we want that trophy. You feel me? Bragging rights. But players,
but I mean, like from a player's perspective, like you work your ass off your whole life, and you got one shot to really cash in.
Yeah. Why would Aaron Judge settle for these Yankees game when he knows that if he bets on stuff he could get much more than that? Right now he's betting on stuff and he's paying off. It's paying off.
Adam, shut up.
Oh yeah.
Point is, here's the thing. If God forbid something happens to you, you're in sports, you're replaceable. You're that top guy for that team. You don't produce, they cut you.
Not you're thinking of football,
in baseball, it's very hard to cut players.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, you know what? Going back to the Yankees,
but I did want to make this point about Aaron Judge's contract occasion. I really feel like my mentality is that I'm willing to pay him here's the thing. It's not so much the money that scares me. If they want to pay him $40 million a year or $45 million a year, I'd actually find that because he's worth it. He's worth every penny of money. The one problem I have is the years.
Yeah,
is the years how many? Because if you give him a 9-10-year contract, those back ends of the years are gonna be nasty. If you told me right now the Yankees would sign Aaron Judge to what is that, a $45 million per year contract, but for 7 years, I'm sure they take that.
Yeah,
I'm sure they take because you're increasing the average value, but all those years, or at least most of them are going to be worth it.
Yeah, remember the Ellsbury one?
Let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about
but back to the Yankees. Here's what bothers me: Miguel Andujar played well, and now he's back in the minor leagues because we have to have Hicks because we're paying him all this money. Yeah. We have to have Gallo because we're paying him all this money. I don't care how much money you're getting paid. If you're not the best person for the job, you shouldn't get the starting job.
Yeah. I said I was saying I don't blame Miguel Andujar for requesting a trade because he's probably thinking I need some consistent playing time. I'm not gonna I'm 27 years old. I'm not gonna be playing baseball forever. Let me go to a place where I can get consistent playing time. But I definitely feel like come the trade deadline, they need to make an upgrade to outfield position. I said you can't have Joey Gallo or Aaron Hicks be on the everyday team.
Yeah.
Come October, you can't have one guy. I'm gonna let you go really quick, Robert. One guy I've really argued for the Yankees. Edge Benintendi. I think he'd be a perfect fit for the Yankees.
I agree. But I know this is revisionist history, but I wish we never made the Stanton trade.
I don't know if I can't agree with you on that.
No, I'm going to tell you why.
I gotta go. I can't.
Okay, so here's my reasoning. That offseason, we traded for Stanton, but he had his injury. He can't stay healthy. Even in Miami,
he's been healthy this year, though. He's been healthy this year.
But I had to leave the call. I heard blasphemous shit from Robert,
and you didn't hear me through. I'm going to tell you why.
Let him explain.
That offseason, for half the money and half the term, the Red Sox signed JD Martinez, and he's stayed healthy, and look at what he's done. You're telling me the Yankees couldn't give him half the term and half? They couldn't have given him a 5-year, $25 million per year deal and gotten more production out of him than Stanton?
Wait, hold on. You say you would? I can't give you that one. I would take Stanton over JT Martinez.
I don't know, because Stanton. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, Stanton is injury prone. I'm not like
he's been healthy this year, and he's been healthy this year. I would agree. I would have agreed to 2019, but here's the thing. And here's the thing. Like, Stanton, like, over recent has answered like every single criticism of him. Like, a lot of people say, "Oh, he can't stay healthy." Like, for most of he's been healthy. Like, he's saying, "Oh, he can't perform in the playoffs." Like, look at how he performed in the playoffs in 2020. He went off and saying, "Oh, he can't play the field." He's played the field consistently.
Yeah, but also
this year. And let me finish, Robert. A lot of people saying, "Oh, why are you taking on like that contract? That contract isn't going to age well." You look at like the average. He's making what, $25 million a year, when a lot of players are making like upwards $30 million a year. That contract right now is looking like a steal. So,
all right, two things. One, Stanton is getting older, and as you get older, your body's not going to age well. Number two, JD Martinez, he's not just a power hitter. Like, he's top 3 in average. Like, so like JD Martinez, like, he's not just a home run threat. Like, he could get a lot of doubles, get a lot of hits.
Stanton's like hitting like 270. It's like he's Joey Guy where he's hitting like 200.
Yeah, but like,
and I believe he was hitting like 300 earlier in the year. So Stanton does have some contact skills as well.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, another thing with the Yankees, like, with Gleyber Torres, I think he fell too in love with the home runs, and I don't think he's a home run hitter. I think, like, when he hit those 38 home runs in 2019, 2/3 of those home runs were against crappy teams and crappy pitching. Mm-hmm. What I think somebody's got to tell him is, son, you're going to hit 5th, you're going to be at second base, and you're going to hit for almost 300 and get 170 hits a year. Cut the home run crap out. You're not a power hitter. All right, you'll get your 20 home runs, but stop trying to swing for the fences.
What are you guys talking about?
I do really like the way Gleyber has performed over this year. Like, I agree with you. I would like to see the average go up. I would like to see the on base percentage go up, but I mean, the guy has 12 home runs, where he had 9 like all last year. It's great to see like Gleyber like get his power back. Now, is he going to be the same guy who hit 38 home runs in 2019? No, but if he could get you like 20, 25 bombs a year, like, I don't see how you don't take that.
And same thing with like a guy like Miguel Andujar. Like, if he could stay healthy, he's still young enough to where he could be a great hitter. Like, and if like what I would do is like take the $25 million that you're putting towards Stanton, redistribute it elsewhere, and make Miguel Andujar the DH.
Okay, I'm not sure if I can't agree with you on that one. Look, I really feel like you're overrating Miguel Andujar here.
Well, I mean,
here's the thing. If you want to say like he deserves the opportunity, like if you want to say he deserves the opportunity, fine. You don't move a guy like Stan to give Andujar an opportunity. Like, I'm sorry, you don't.
Listen, the thing, it's not really Stanton. It's just I don't like that he signed for a million years. Because listen, he's injury prone, and like we're in a world without PEDs. Like when he's 38, you honestly think he's going to be playing this spell?
He probably won't be, but here's the thing: like, Knicks right now aren't worried about that. They're worried about the here and now. And right now, like, you have a guy like who can hit you 34, 40 bombs a year for like for like $35 million a year. Like, he's the best hitter on the team, not named Stanton. He's best. Sorry, not named Judge. Not named Judge.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, this just. I mean, listen, if Stanton wasn't signed for 1,000,000 years, I wouldn't have had a problem with the trade. But, like, I mean, listen, when you have an injury history, like, I'm sorry, like that's not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope this new workout regimen works. But like,
here's the thing with that logic that I don't like. Aaron Judge has a very big history with injuries.
Same. I agree.
So would you call Aaron Judge kind of overrated, or would you say he's properly rated? He's asked.
I'm not denying that Stanton is. I'm not saying Stanton's a bad player. I just like ultimately, if I could go back in time, if I were Brian Cashman, I look at what JD Martinez has done these last 5 years, and I look at Stanton has done these last 5 years. I would have gone with Martinez. That's all.
Okay, then I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think Judge, with the season he's having right now, he's asking for like 10 years and like what? Like 30 million a year per year?
10-year deals, I would not have given Judge a 10-year deal. No. I think 7 is pushing it. Like, I think it should stay at 7 years. Like, but like, I think honestly a fair contract for Aaron Judge would be. I think a fair contract would be 7 years, $36 million a year.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. Let me just look it up. That'd be $250 million. Here's the thing, though. You gotta remember, Robert, is that we do think another team would beat that, and I personally think another team would.
Well,
that's the Yankees. They're gonna have to overpay in order to keep Judge. Which I will. Like here's the thing. Like I was saying, Robert. If you said for like you wouldn't give him 10 years, 300 million. And that's the thing, I would give him the 300 million, but I would give it to him over 7 years. So yes, you're inflating like the average annual value, but you know what? Those 7 years, most of them are gonna be like he's gonna be worth that money.
Here's the thing on Aaron Judge is overrated.
I mean, here's the thing. What you could do. This is like in the NHL, like they would do these contracts where they would like front they would sign like these guys to 12-year deals, front load everything like in the first 8 years, and say to them, "Listen, we don't expect you to play after year 8, but we're just taking on like 4 extra years at like $1 million a year just to bring the cap down." Like honestly, like the year, let's just say the Yankees like gave Judge like a 10-year deal, but they front loaded basically almost all of it in years like 1 through 7. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you guys, we're really starting to like run past the clock, so we gotta move on. So yeah.
All right, and by the way, wait. Let me just check her mic real quick. Mike, if you're there, I just want to say Aaron Judge is overrated.
What?
Okay, good. Now I know Mike's on. That's good.
Okay.
I was having a snack.
We were all about to smack you. We were about to put you in the waiting room, but okay, but I'm
a Yankees fan.
Okay, but we'll move really quick before we get to our bets. We do a bets of Expo segment, Robert. But before we do that, Alex, how about the Philadelphia Phillies?
Also, we're not going to talk about Steph Curry's 43 points in the NBA Finals. All right.
Well, all right. We'll briefly mention that after the Phillies talk, but go ahead. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, they came to play the last 9 or 10 games.
Fuck the Phillies for life.
I do not appreciate you. Thank you. They've been doing well. Even though they got their winning streak to 9 and lost yesterday, I think that they finally have the chance to make this ball club what they've been doing. And for the rest of the month, they have a soft schedule with Miami, Nationals, and towards the end, they have the Braves. So, I mean, the Braves are hot, and don't get me wrong, that series is going to be a very hard series for the Phillies to overcome. But I do think that the Braves have that momentum, winning 11 straight and having the chance to overcome the Mets in the National League East. But sticking with the Phillies, I think the Phillies have a solid chance of making the rest of this month a good month for them. And I'm really interested to see how this team does.
That's the thing about the Phillies. Like, you fired Joe Girardi and you responded immediately by winning like 9 straight wins. I mean, what? Remember, Robert, me and Sam earlier when we were debating like not talking Phillies again for like the rest of the season because they were so bad.
But here's the thing: the Phillies are on a nice little run. They're going to be a nice little team, but when they get to the playoffs, I'm letting you know they're going to get absolutely.
I mean, I was a big.
Even if they, as right now, they're not even in a playoff position. They're 3.5 games out of the wild card. But that's the thing. I definitely think this season, like, I feel like this season, like, you may not make the playoffs, but at least make your run. At least like try to like see if you can like make a race out of this thing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got guys like Harper, Real Muto, Wheeler, Nola. Like, you gotta make some noise.
The
one thing I will say though, could the Phillies versus the Yankees in the first round of the playoffs potentially, or not? Okay, when could they versus the Yankees?
Because they're National League, Yankees are in the American League.
Got it. Because I was going to say, if the Phillies versus the Yankees in the playoffs, then I would actually be kind of scared because I don't like that matchup. I really don't like that matchup.
You know, like because you're the fear of like us blowing that series, and Alex would never let us live it down.
No, it's that their team.
I mean, I rooted for the Phillies when they had Girardi because I'm a big Girardi guy.
Here's the thing.
Girardi.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I think Philly may be the only team that can really counter the Yankees. Just because of like their like intense defense. I think they're like one of those teams that can like counter the Yankees.
I quit. Sam has joined the dark side.
I never said I'm joining the dark side because the Phillies are not even making the playoffs, so I don't got to worry. I was saying if they were to verse the Yankees, then I would be worried.
I mean, honestly, I think the Mets are a little overrated.
Really, yeah.
I mean, my brother's a Met fan, so.
Yeah, I mean,
my God.
The
Mets are highly overrated. The Mets have like no pitching. The pitchers that they have are like not that good actually.
Big picture,
like,
if they don't get DeGrom or Scherzer back, they're done.
They need to get those 2 guys back. They definitely need to get those 2 guys back. But yeah, I mean, we've wasted so much time. I can tell you guys are tired already. Did you guys just want to move on to the beds, or did you want to talk about game 4 of the finals really quickly?
Just move on to the bed. So all we need to know is Steph Curry is going to win Finals MVP because the Warriors are going to win this series, even though my bet is going to say otherwise.
Okay. All right. So before we do our bets, I don't know if you noticed, we have a fantasy baseball league.
Oh, really?
So at every episode I update it. So the recent matchups just wrapped up. And guess what? Michael Cunningham, your team, Kansas City and Murder, lost to my team, New Jersey Yankees.
Come on, you had to put Jersey in front of the Yankees.
I couldn't do New York. It would be unoriginal. I couldn't do New York, so I
Let me
decided
say, I lost. I lost to you.
You were beating me. You were beating me by like what 50 points. Then the last day I came back. I went 340 to 314.
Not good.
Yes.
You got Judge on your team?
Wanna know who I have on my team? Let me rattle off names. I got Judge, I got Stanton, I got Trout, I got Ohtani, I got DeGrom, I got Tatis.
All right. My fantasy wasn't doing well.
Who do you have?
Oh, no, I had a good draft. I got Harper, DeGrom, Real Muto, Arenado.
Not bad. But I won. I improved to 5-4. Marcellus, you fall to 3-6. Sam, your New Orleans Pelicans beat Team Kern 297 to 232.
Predictable.
He's just like another day's work. And Team Reach, you lost to Team Murdock 380 to 310. So fantasy sustains update. Me and Sam remain tied for first place in the East at 5-4. Well, Alex, you're in last place in the East 2-7. And in the West, Team Kern and Team Murdock are now tied for first place in the West at 6-3 each. While Michael, you fall into last place in the West at 3-6.
I just like how with everything we do, Helix and Mike are always last, and then the other four of us are just like going at each other's throats.
Do you guys go to the game? Do you guys go to games yet?
I went to opening day.
Oh,
I went to the Yankees Angels game when the Yankees absolutely destroyed the Angels.
I haven't been to a game yet. I haven't been back. I haven't been to a Yankee game since before COVID. So, I mean, I hate going to the stadium. I'm sorry. I mean, come on, it's so expensive.
I mean, it is expensive. I won't deny you that. I won't deny you that.
The train ride.
Yeah.
Do you take the car?
Yeah, I take the car. I don't live
for
too
a
far
Yankee
away
game.
from
You taking
the
the Yankee game
stadium.
for my birthday.
When's your birthday?
July 7th, baby.
No, I'm July 12th, bitch.
This is Cancer Nation, slut.
I already know, ho.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, I'm in January.
Did you just say this is Cancer Nation?
Zodiac sign, stupid.
Yeah, Zodiac sign, but that didn't sound good though.
That sounded really bad.
Yeah, that didn't sound good. You might have to edit that out.
Cancer Nation up in here.
You might have to edit that one out, Adam.
Are you guys going to any more games?
I'm probably trying to get me, Michael, and Sam.
We're trying to
go to a game.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see how they're doing. Have you ever been to Citi Field?
I've never been to Citi
Marcellus
Field.
is a Met fan. He's been to Citi Field.
Honestly, I recommend going to Citi Field because it is.
I went to a Subway Series game last. I went to a Subway Series game last year. Don't remind me. It was the one where they blew that big lead. Don't remind me about that one. But I would like to go to a Yankees Mets game at Citi Field.
I'm thinking about going but a guy at work went to the Hyundai suite when it was Mets versus Yankees. It was like $250 for a ticket, but the seats were amazing. It's an all-you-could-eat buffet, and there's no line for the bathroom.
Wow.
Like honestly,
Oh, yeah.
that could you imagine that at Yankee Stadium? It's like $1,000.
Oh, actually, no, it's actually not. What's it called? The Delta Suite for Yankee Stadium. One ticket's actually like, I think, depending on the game, the Delta Suite's only like $110 a ticket.
Well, I mean, I hate going to Yankee Stadium. I feel like I'm at a shopping mall.
Oh no, I don't blame you, especially when the people like start. I remember I went to the game. This Angels fan started yelling at some Yankees fans. So all the Yankees fans started yelling to the guy, "Fuck the Angels!" Right in his
Very
face.
mysteriously.
Nah, the best interaction I ever saw was this Red Sox fan. He thought it was smart to try to gang up against Yankees fans. It was not smart. There was a whole brawl at Yankee Stadium, and then on top of that, whenever the ump made a mistake, you would just hear everyone scream, "Yo, ump, get off your knees! You're blowing the game."
Whoa.
What about other ballparks? Have you been to any other ballparks?
I've been to any other ballparks. I do want to go see some though.
I've done a little traveling when I was a kid. Okay, San Francisco, you gotta go to day or night. It is beautiful.
I definitely the Giants ballpark. Oh, I gotta go.
Yeah, and I growing up, I liked the Giants growing up because I really liked a lot of their players growing up. Tim Lincecum, Brian Wilson, Buster Posey. Dodger Stadium, you gotta go to. The traffic is terrible, but it's worth it. Petco Park, you gotta go to. Like
I heard Arizona
Arizona's pretty good too.
Well, Adam, you're not that far from Philly, right?
I'm not that far, no.
Like you're halfway between New York City and Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, we're like an hour and a half away from like Philly.
Yeah, I'm the realest dude that be living near Philly growing up. Camden, New Jersey. 609 area, 856.
Yeah. Alex, I'm sorry. Alex, he's a Phillies fan, so he goes to that ballpark regularly.
No, I've been to Philly before. Philly's a great town. I mean, it's a nice.
Philly's a good party town, baby. Me and Alex in college, and me and back in the day, Xfinity Live on a Friday night, Alex.
No, right? Honestly, I thought about going to Philly for my birthday in January because the day before my birthday, the Rangers were playing the Flyers in Philadelphia. I thought about treating myself and driving down to Philly to see the game.
All I got one thing is fuck the Mets and fuck the Phillies.
All right, guys, we gotta move on to our bets. So just so you know, we do a bets of the episode segment, which is basically simple. We make bets, and we have it's a little betting competition, so self-explanatory. So to recap last episode, though, guess what? 6 of us made bets. Every single one of us won.
Mazel tov in the old country.
Ooh.
It's only the second time in podcast history we've done this. This is our 97th episode, only second time every single one of us won our bets.
Ooh, I wanted Adam to lose his bet so that he would go back down to third.
Yeah. And 5 times practically every single one of us lost. By the way, for my bet, you know what I had, Robert?
Yeah.
I had a parlay. I had Warriors over Celtics in Game 3, and I had the Lightning over the Rangers in Game 6.
Good bets.
Yeah, so I had that. I had 27.5 points.
Wait. You said Game 3?
Game 4.
Game 4.
Game 4.
I was about to say. Then you made a motherfucking mistake.
I was about to say you cheated. You shaving points there, Adam.
All right. But Alex had Yankees over Cubs, Guardians over Athletics, Padres over Rockies. He won all 3. Sam had the Yankees over the Cubs and Warriors over Celtics. Chris had Phillies over Diamondbacks. Marcellus had Warriors over Celtics. Mets over Angels. Michael had Yankees over Cubs. Luis Severino 4 or more strikeouts, and Steph Curry 5 or more threes. He won his bet. So up there in the standings. Standings are overall. I'm going to say Marcellus is in first place, 2-10 record, 166.89 points for 9 stars. I'll explain this later. Robert. I'm in second place. 10-12. 141.32 points for 7 stars. Sam's in third place, 9-13 record, 166.89 points for 7 stars. Mike's in fourth place, 10-12 record, 114.53 points for 7 stars. Axe is in fifth place, 7-15 record, 121.73 points for 3 stars. Chris is in last place, 7-15 record, 56.95 points for no star. So basically, Robert, the bet that you make is basically like the amount of points you get would be the equivalent of like if you made a $10 bet. If you made a $10 bet, the amount of money you win, your wager, that would be like the amount of points you get. And then we get our stars. Best record gets you best record or points gets you 5 stars. Second best record or points gets you 4 stars, and so on. Third best is 3 stars. Second best is 2 stars, and fifth best is 1 star, and last place gets you nothing.
Yeah,
that's basically self-explanatory.
I've always been afraid to bet because I have bad luck when it comes to betting.
So I'm gonna go first.
You want to go first? I don't know. I think
Yes.
you might be taking. I think you might be taking my bet. I have one in mind.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sam.
So this is my bet, and this is the first time I'm making a bet on this show. I want my bet to lose so bad. I want my bet to lose. I'm choosing the Celtics over the Warriors, even though, fuck Boston.
Okay.
I'm also going to make a parlay though. And you're going to think this is a crazy parlay. Draymond Green will have 8 or less points.
Wow.
Imagine I say, and then Klay Thompson will have 2 or less points. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Yeah, Draymond Green will have 8 or less points, and the Celtics will win.
Okay, game 5, right?
Mm-hmm. And I want my bet to lose. So.
Okay. You want your bet to lose. All right.
I want my bet to lose by the winning part, not by the Draymond Green part.
Okay, so all right, so yeah, I'm gonna go here. I usually go first. Here's the thing. You didn't take my bet. You didn't take a bet. But I'm taking a very unique bet. I am taking the Warriors over the Celtics. There's a little plot twist, guys. I'm not doing it for game 5. I'm doing it for game 6. Because here's the thing, game 6 is Thursday and our episodes go up on Friday. So it'll be within betting range. So I'm gonna take the Warriors over Celtics in game 6. And that's not all. I'm doing a same game parlay. I got Klay Thompson scoring 25 or more.
Yo, that's insane. Because in game 6, I'm gonna add this because you can do up to 3, correct? I did 2.
You can do up to 3, yeah.
That's insane. I have Klay Thompson in game 6 scoring more than 40 points. I'm joking. I have Klay Thompson scoring more than 25 sentences.
I don't know if I'll be able to add it to your bet though. I mean the sports book doesn't really like I don't think it'll make you work with the sports book. Unless you want to change your bet to game 6.
No, it's fine.
All right, so where's Draymond Green? Less than 8 points. All right, Alex, you're up.
I'm going to do a 3-game parlay.
3-game
So-
parlay.
So all the games are Tuesday.
All the games are Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my first one is Padres money line
All right, you're taking
against the
Padres.
Cubs.
Gotcha. All right, got the
My
one.
second one is Cleveland money line against Colorado,
All right.
and Dodgers money line against Angels.
All right. Got Ions over who again? Guys over Rockies, and what was your last one?
Yeah. Dodgers money line.
Over who? Giants?
Angels.
Oh, okay. Angels, sorry. All right. Just give me a second here. My computer's about to go dead. I got to plug the charger in. But in the meantime, Marcellus, you can go.
Celtics over Warriors, baby.
Celtics over Warriors, which game?
Tomorrow's game.
So taking game 5, all right? Gotcha. No parlays, no parlays.
No parlays, man.
Okay, my computer's still not plugged in, all right. Well, here's the thing. Michael usually goes last, so here's the thing. We need someone to go for Chris, so guess what, Robert? You want to go?
All right, I got. I guess I'll go hockey.
Yeah, you can go hockey, yeah.
All right. Game 1, I got the Avalanche winning game 1 4-2.
You don't have to pick the final score. You don't have to pick the final score. You can just pick the Avalanche if you want.
Yeah. I got them winning by 2.
Okay, so all right. You want me to pick them on the spread for you?
Yeah, I don't really understand the betting thing.
Yeah. So basically, when money line is basically whoever wins, and spread is basically like how many points. So if I believe the Avalanche are like the favorite, so if you take them on the spread, like look at minus 1.5, you're basically picking them to win by 2 goals.
All right, I guess that.
All right, so we're taking Avalanche over Lightning. All right, 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know the first thing about sports betting, so.
I've learned more, but it's a learning curve, Robert. It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
All right, Michael Cunningham, last up. Go ahead.
You know what, Adam?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a tribute to Lee Corso, one of the greatest persons ever for College Game Day. And y'all know me. I love College Game Day. Alex, let me ask you a question, sweetheart. You're gonna be my Kirk for this. Kirk, how long we been doing this for, Kirk?
At least 4 years.
4 years. Okay. You know something, sweetheart? I'm gonna you know me. I hate Draymond, and I also hate the Celtics. But you know what? I'm gonna do a basketball bet. You know what I'm saying, sweetheart? Who you got win? Last time I picked the Warriors. You know, the Warriors won, right?
They won, yeah.
Yeah.
And you picked Steph Curry 5 or more threes, and
I picked Steph Curry. You know what? I hear that song in my head. You know this is a famous quote. But it says, you keep doing the same results, it's called insanity.
This is what Michael loves to do with his best friend. He likes to build up the suspense.
You know what they say? Well, if you keep doing it over and over again and keep doing the same results, that's what insanity is. So you know what, Adam? In the words of Les Marvin Gaye, let's get it on. You know what my bet is? I'm gonna do a 5 parlays if I'm allowed to.
You can only do up to 3. You can only do up to 3.
And I know we had trouble with the Rays on our last homestand. We on our where we played them away in Tampa. We lost 2 out of 3 games. Adam, who's pitching on the mound for us tomorrow?
They still play tomorrow. They play again on Tuesday. Garrett Cole is on the mound Tuesday.
Garrett Cole. I'll pick Yankees money line.
Okay, Yankees
Garrett Cole
Rays.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do any part. My other parlay. Warriors at home money line.
Game 5 or 6.
Game 5.
Okay.
Warriors. I said it before.
All right,
Warriors are going to lose at home.
All right, Warriors over Celtics. All right, go ahead. Say it.
No, I'm going, baby. I'm still going. I'm going to do a shocker. I'm going to have Steph Curry giving me 20 points or more with 5 free throws or more.
I think you have to choose like one or the other. I think
Curry give me 20. I'm gonna add a little parlay to go with it. Like with Curry give me 20 points or more, and he's having 5 free throws or more.
I don't know if he can bet 3 throws. I'm not sure if he
can. Fuck
bet
it.
3
You can sign it up. That's my bet.
I'm just putting down Stephen Curry 20 or more points.
Dickhead.
I'll see if it get. I feel like for same game part, you guys want to. I mean, because even then it would break our like betting rule. You can't do more 3 bets. That
all right, Adam. All right. So you know where Alex for Kirk? I'm gonna go with the Yankees. Hey, Robert, you watch College Game Day?
To be honest, I'm not really. I don't like the way college athletes are treated, so I haven't really dove into college sports that much.
Me and Alex consider ourselves the Kirk and Lee of College Game Day football. We consider ourselves that.
What teams do you like?
He's a Penn State fan. I love Go Dogs Go.
I'm a Rutgers fan. All right, guys, that's all for our best novel for this episode. Continue.
I mean, I liked Oklahoma when Lincoln Riley was the coach, but I mean, I don't really follow it that well. So.
I don't follow that well either. I mean, we talk.
I got one thing to say about Ohio. OH. Alex, OH.
All right.
Alex, give me an OH chance. Just one OH chance. It'll be funny. OH.
Fuck the Buckeyes.
No, it just did a chance. It's pretty funny. OH.
We're trying to go to sleep. We're trying to wrap the show, Michael. All right, give us a break.
Hold up. One thing to say, Alex. We are
Penn State.
We are
Penn State.
Are you guys done?
Sam, why are you masturbating in the video, man? Shame masturbating behind the video. That's nasty. At least leave the call if you masturbating, you son of a bitch.
All right, but Robert, we thank you so much for coming on. I mean, it was
thanks for having me.
It was just a blast having you on. You told me before how much you wanted to come on my podcast, and you know what? I figured it was the perfect time to have you on. So it was a blast having you on. Thank you for coming on.
I'm glad
for our next episode if you want. You're welcome.
You're welcome back on. You're welcome back on that. You're welcome back.
Sure, I just subscribed. I subscribed to your channel. I'm glad I got on before episode 100.
Yeah, that's right. Episode 100.
I was one short from the Judge episode, though.
Oh my God! Guys, next episode is the Judge episode. Before you go, Robert, I have to do this full plug. Tell us where all of us can find you.
You follow me on Twitter at Rob the Yankee. I'm trying to get back into the writing game, actually. So. I mean, you know, Adam, like you and I, we bonded over like writing and like, yeah. Although I'm more of a historian type of fan. Like I can't shut up about baseball history. So I'm trying to get back into that game,
COVID really screwed things over. But
yeah, that COVID screwed me over with Reich. So I'm still looking for another place to write.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't really view myself as a guy who wants to write for someone. Like, I'm more of a guy who just wants to write for his own, like, just for fun, blow off some steam. But follow me on Twitter. That's really follow me on Twitter.
All right, bro. All right, that's perfect. But bro, it was so much fun having you on.
It was a really fun episode.
Really fun episode.
No, I had fun. I'm glad this was my first podcast. My first
one. So
I mean, I'm a little.
This will be a little stepping stone. When other podcasts have you on, just say, hey, you go and say, hey, we were first. We were first.
We took Robert's podcast virginity.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I'm still a virgin. Wow.
Guys, we gotta get guys, ladies. If you want Robert, he can cook, he can clean. You gotta give him the boot. Don't worry, Robert. Adam's a virgin too. It's okay.
I don't. I'm focused on my career at the moment.
Yeah, same here. But guys, any final thoughts?
Nope. This bitch just left. Fuck Sam.
Love you, Mike.
All right. But guys, that's it.
Adam.
This is episode 98 of the Gay Gam Podcast. Yours truly, Adam Grassani, Michael Cunningham, Alex Reich, Marcellus, Murdock, Sam Morell, and our special guest, Robert Dobek. Like you heard, be sure to leave a like and follow or subscribe to the podcast. Also, watch your conversation, leave a comment on YouTube, or reach out to us on social media. We feature what you have to say in future episodes, my friends. Those who introduce this fantasy. It's the magical world, believe in it, and dive in. See you next time, and until then, stay lit.
And we're out.